Hello and welcome to another Netflix commentary track, this actually being a Hulu commentary track for Akira, Akina, one of those two, right? Now this is a movie from 1988. I'm watching this on Hulu, and we're going to go ahead and go through all the procedure so that you can catch up and hear me complain about it, because this is a film that is more panache than actual substance, and I feel like something is probably lost in the translation from the manga, which I have not read because they want $150 for it on Amazon. But at any rate, before we get started with our whole shindig, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at CalderaLab.com, makers of the good, the base layer, the deep, the whole routine that makes me look not quite my age. Give their stuff a go. You can use my promo code FRY15 to save 15% at checkout. Okay, we are going to watch this on Hulu. I've got the subtitles on. There's really so few anime on Hulu that you're not going to have a hard time finding this. I'm watching the dub version with the subtitles, and I think this is a different dub than the DVD I had back in the day, but we'll get into that. Go to 0000 and hit play now. You're going to get a Funimation screen here before we get what would have been seen in theaters. There we go. I hope you have your popcorn ready, guys. I do. Oh yeah, the days of when a committee was made so that you could have an anime feature film. This isn't a bad looking movie. A lot of people talk about it looking better than today's. That's maybe the case. I actually found that I think there are 90s films, 90s animes that I feel look better. I kind of feel like Ghost in the Shell looks better. Oh, but Vaughn, this one has more frames of animation. Look, I've got some issues with this, and a lot of it's character design as far as the visuals. As with most anime films of the time, Tokyo has to get wiped out so that there can be a Neo Tokyo. 31 years after 2019, Neo Tokyo. Wow. I didn't know we were past the age of Akira over here. Maybe that's why my review of it started catching some steam. Sorry for the snorting and stuff. I am getting over the C word, that which YouTube does not like being named. You get a lot of drums in this movie. A lot of people like the music. This looks weirdly pixelated. Maybe it's not a 4K transfer. Yeah, if I had to guess, this was probably 720p master of the version showing on Hulu. It's not looking so great. And I suppose the characters are designed the way they are because that's how they looked in the manga. Yeah, you can see all kinds of artifacts. There's a lot of lost detail here. Surely there's a better looking version of this film floating around out there. I'm not really sure why this is on Hulu. I mean, it's kind of surprising that HBO Max seems to have the Studio Ghibli. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I think it's Ghibli library. When Disney was the one behind the dubs when Spirited Away took off, and they just started like working deals to bring those to America, put on disc. Computer controlled anti-lock brakes. Wow, this thing is amazing. So we have these street toughs, and they have a You can't quite call this a biker gang because the star bike, that's actually a scooter. It's like, whoa, wow, it looks so cool. We got the lightning going. Trails. Wow, there's static buildings. This looks amazing. Now we got the holograms on top of the buildings. Still something we don't have in our 2019. Our cars don't really look this cool either. We need cars that look 80s futuristic, don't we? You know, what did this guy do? He was obeying traffic laws. They have to jack up his car. And then the last guy even explodes it with a grenade. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but this looks really bad as far as the transfer goes. I know that this could look better. You have to wonder, are we supposed to be rooting for these guys? They're just kind of causing mayhem. But they have this conflict with this clown gang that I'm hoping had more time dedicated to it in the manga, because here it is glossed over so quick. And this is really the most exciting part of the movie. We don't have a lot of movies about futuristic, granted it's not future anymore, futuristic bit of a cyberpunk biker gang, do we? But then we get rid of that. This gets thrown by the wayside pretty quick. And I don't know if we're committing murder here or not, but, knocking guys off speeding motorcycles and having them explode seems kind of murderous to me. What's the backstory here? What did these guys do to create this rivalry? And if anybody died, it's not really brought up. We don't see talk of, well, you killed 13 dudes last night. I know, but our guy's in the hospital. What about the ones that died? Don't we have a funeral to go to? Not really. Don't you feel like this action would have had more impact if we had some, story behind it? I wonder if the Insane Clown Posse was inspired by this. Oh, the version of this of which I saw, I was late to the game on Akira. I bought the DVD probably around 2002, if I had to take a guess. 2002, 2003, probably. There must have been a re-release around that time. I think I was in high school. And Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon was the voice of Kaneda. Alright, so now we have completely abandoned, and I mean completely abandoned, the Street Toughs biker gang storyline. Now we got this guy's evidently shot, and he's leading a sickly dwarf, rapidly aged child through the street. Oh no, he's gonna shoot that dog. See the look of the kid and see that kid there watching it, like, horrified? Repeal the tax reform. Evidently there's a sign saying that. They're going to come across I think, student protest, which is in keeping with today. Here we go. Got our big protest, right? There's our gal. She's a reporter. Can't remember her name. Doesn't matter that much. It's been a while since I've watched this. Kind of have a hard time drawing women in this anime. They look a lot like the men do. There's like a lot of cheek and considerable forehead. Big accentuated jawline. Don't shoot, he's got a kid. Go ahead and shoot. A little late for the hold your fire. No, wait, it's okay to shoot. Turns out the kid's an old ghostly fellow. Some praise here, or rather hype for excessive violence. This guy's gonna get shot up even further. Oh yeah, we gotta make Swiss cheese of this guy's corpse right here. Ah yes, the powerful kid screams and things break trope. Oh yeah, you guys have been eating that up since... I'm not even sure. Carrie, Firestarter, this... Okay, alright. Her hat is sort of a helmet. And I've seen this several times, though it's been a while. And I watch a lot of stuff. But I don't really recall what really the plot is. I'm not convinced that it adds up. That's why I hope that at some point I will find the time and the resources to actually watch, or rather read the manga, and see if anything has been lost in translation. Though even there I may have an issue, as I would have to be reading it in English. Close beyond this point, old city. Are we still using these methods? Spray everybody with water? Disperse? Yeah, police just beating up whoever they can, right? There's a guy, he needs to get shot with a gas cartridge. With CGI now, we could probably do the volumetric smoke from that gas better. Have some transparency. Alright, the clowns are going down, and we're going to have our street tough gang. That's probably death right there, that with the hammer. Sort of collides into this kid. The kid blows him up, but is protected almost like he has a force field. He's a weird little what? What about that kid? Everybody just looks on afraid. You know, there's a weird trope in films, and evidently it exists in the world of Akina as well. Helicopters are silent until you see them. We can't hear these helicopters, even they got their flashlight going, the search going, right? We got those beams, but only when we look up and see them do they make a sound. All right, so somebody was trying to escape this kid from this enclave of which the rapid age child psychics work with the government. Sorry, guys, I thought I could get through a commentary. I was better a couple days ago. I'm kind of getting slightly worse. So in Japan, we like to have everybody get their hands on their heads. I think the modern approach is complete spread on the ground. I think. Ordinary biker game. We're no ordinary biker gang, pal. I have a scooter. Well, Zangief, what do you think? Now, the manga was from 1983, and I'm wondering what exactly all the characters looked like in that. I think it kind of ran as like a limited series for like a year or two. The full volume. Little Newt Gingrich. That's what that guy is. Tokyo Olympics. That kind of happened. Wow, those are some pictures for their student IDs. Yes, another bunch of kids called the Clowns attacked them. That's what happened. I never do think that we come across anybody's parents in this. And there is a bit of a recurring instance of that. You go and you watch several things from the 80s, and it seems like when they deal with teens, there are times where they don't actually have parents visible, ever. I actually just watched the Fear Street trilogy from Netflix. No parents from anybody in that. You know, we got kids running around getting murdered by psychos, but parents cannot be found. He's got a grenade. What do you need freedom from exactly? You had World War III. See the technology they got in this? It's not crazy advanced. Yeah, our main guy and his gal look a bit too much alike, don't they? And that is a haggard 25-year-old. See, I don't think this is the same voice cast as what I originally heard. I think there are a couple of different dubs out there. I'm assuming this would be the Funimation dub. He did kind of save her because he's like, hey, I'll pull the chick I like out of the group of student protesters who are going to really get punished. This anime does have a lot of frames of animation there, and I know I said Ghost in the Shell. I thought visually looked better, but it is relatively stiff at times. A lot of anime people sit still, completely still. There's not a lot of complete stillness in this. There's also another thing with anime. Try to catch it when you see it. People's mouths moving, but the chin doesn't actually move with the mouth. That way you can quickly animate dialogue. Alright, so we confiscated this kid, and we're doing experiments on him because of why. I mean, they sort of just happened across this guy, Tetsuo, and it turns out he has like a brainwave pattern that matches the guy, the psychic responsible for the explosion that created this big crater, took out Tokyo. So you just happened across this guy. But then they make it sound like he is Akira, but then how's that possible? Goodness. Level 7 capsules. You got that capsule jacket, right? That's so cool. You gotta have your capsule on your jacket. Alright, power level of 9 is Akira's, and that's dangerous enough, right? Kind of a janky overview of this kid getting scanned, huh? Oh yeah, you can tell the skull's run down. Though how old and run down can stuff be? This place isn't 31 years old, right? Because everything had to be everything in here should be new. It's Neo Tokyo. See, this is what happens when kids don't have parents. They get in a gang. They jack up the school. And I think we're about to run across our first instance of sexual assault. In fairness to the styling of the kids here, they're dressed in a relatively timeless fashion. We don't see a lot of 80s hair on the girls, save for that one with the bandana. I found a cuter girl. Oh, you don't want to fall behind the pack. You want to stay with your group. Wow, the door opened itself. You know, I try to do something cute. I make popcorn, microwave popcorn, fairly buttery. I pour some Reese's Pieces on it, and the Reese's Pieces always slip down to the bottom. You never really get to just dip your hand in and get popcorn with the Reese's. You just slide. Alright, I guess we haven't gotten to our sexual assault yet, my bad. Yeah, look how cool we animated this can. We need to see that get thrown and clank away. We can't just throw that off screen, can we? Does he wear the bandage throughout the movie from here forward or close to it? It's weird, the government was doing stuff with him, then he ends up in a hospital where he can get away, it seems. Thought he was going to be a fairly high priority, but they just let him slip by, didn't they? No one even had to break him out of the hospital, he just took off. I'm riding Kaneda's bike, yeah. Alright, so are these clowns? Because if these are clowns, then we're done with the clown storyline. We never understood their motives. Just dislike of this group and this group's dislikes of them. Oof. Clothesline. I think some words are actually translated differently in this dub. Here we go, we gotta rip her shirt. Damn, then punched in the face. And her character gets no redemption. She's just there to be sexualized and abused. That isn't her entire character's arc. Risky dismount there, Kaneda. Nice kick. I'm not going to complain about that. Oh yeah, she's bruised all right. I mean, haven't we killed some people already? We still can't put a shirt on her, but we'll hang this jacket over her. But Vaughn, this is the best anime, is it? This guy's got this almost angry younger brother, unappreciated syndrome thing. Well, middle child, I guess. He's living in the shadow of Kaneda. I want to do my thing. I want to be the leader. Now, I don't understand what's happening here. Is it the geriatric kids, psychics, are trying to communicate with him? And that's causing him to experience a paranoia, schizophrenia type, look what I can do animation shit. We have to try to show off all the stuff we can draw. I mean, the crazy part is there's older anime with better transfers out there. I know Castle of Cagliostro was on Netflix for the longest time. It got yanked recently. And it looked quite good. Though it may have also had a different dub than the one I came across it. There's a dub of that which I've watched had Solid Snake David Hayter voicing Lupin. Alright, so they yanked his bandage off, right? Well, he's ignoring her. It's because of that Pat Benatar haircut. Oh, lots of terrorist activity here, don't we? Well, there's some transparency in the smoke. You see people walking out, and it kind of goes a little bit of transparency, right? Isn't her thing is that she's a reporter, right? That's why she's in the middle of all this. It's that girl that has such a masculine jawline. It's the 80s. Somebody's got to go in the sewers. How easy would it be to walk through the sewer? I mean, would the smell be overpowering and just make you succumb to vomiting? This kid is not done trying to impress her. Did she get a kill shot on that cop? Yeah. He tried to save her, she saves him. It's a trade. Got to experiment on this kid. Putting him in the most experimental microfiber no-seam briefs from Calvin Klein. So a lot of kids tease this guy. He comes to power. He gets these psychic abilities. And that's going to lead him on a revenge streak, right? Which kind of, you're supposed to now blame everybody for bullying the kid, right? But doesn't that kind of make their point in a way? Is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? The bullied kid lashes out eventually in some way, right? But what if he can lash out with superpowers? But is it possible that the hive mind predictive nature of the bullies were able to single out that there was an attribute wrong with this kid and that's why we need to bully him? No one will go that route, right? And they really baby this gal. So this one they're saying Akira. I swear the dub that I watched before, which I have on DVD somewhere, they said Akina. Akira. I gotta try to remember that. Akira. Just telling this story is so boring, it makes me go sleep. Well, she kind of did predict the future. There gets to be a bunch of explosions and a lot of people die. Soon. Alright, so we keep this specimen. Parts of Akira frozen. We have to go consult with this, right? I don't think that we have any big names in the voice cast for this. I could be mistaken. I mean, this, I think, is a more recent dub. But this movie came out at a time when it wouldn't be entirely impossible for somebody like Bryan Cranston to be doing a voice, a supporting voice in a dub. All right, we got a big procedure. Keep this guy way down. Keep him cold. Super important stuff. That's what this all says. I don't get it. It's 148 degrees Kelvin. Shouldn't it be below Kelvin, maybe? Or is 0 Kelvin freezing? Isn't this supposed to be cold? So why isn't it 100? Alright, so this is near total freezing, this room. Really thrown together wires there, huh? Yeah, we're still young. We can start over. He's talking about leaving the city and getting new identities with this chick. When you get out, I'll be there. Now he's just throwing out all this stuff, isn't he? Or you can just go to the cops, turn yourself in. A lot of these guys look alike with their mustaches. Man, he's anointed himself boyfriend status. So these guys are underground network. They're looking to find out more about the kid's psychic subject stuff, something. Alright, so they're talking about Tetsuo. Oh, he heard too much. Man, he wants to give himself credit. I saved her twice. I'm looking for Tetsuo also. Plus, I have a pill on my jacket. Man, they animated the elderly dirty, didn't they? Guys rounding bases in public. Day of the Awakening is near. Pamphlets 500. You're charging people for pamphlets? Come on now. More of a doomsday cultist vibe here, right? Chanting on the guy to destroy us all, take us to the next plane of existence, sort of thing. Former Prime Minister, yeah, okay, no. I've got a mustache also, but it's a little Hitlerian. When was it decided that Tokyo would have the 2020 Olympics? I know they decided in advance, but was it decided by 1988? Because they were dead on right about that. But they had the 2020 Olympics in 2021. What exactly did we get out of Zangief's journey down to Akira in the cold containment? It's not like we open it up, we ask some questions. I mean, isn't it just like, I don't know, loose brain fragment or something? Like, I mean, the guy's fairly destroyed, right? We just wanted to show off that we're keeping this guy underneath the city. Oh, look, there's not a lot of animation there, right? We had to do this today. There'd have to be people walking through those windows. Oh, but we're going to show off our hallucination animation here, aren't we? We got a fresh bandage on. What? He just made the water slide into his hand. He's got powers. It's the Force. I mean, do you brush all this off as, well, at least it looked good, so I'm pleased? Oh, the teddy bear kind of comes alive and does shit. Yeah, but it looks neat. All right, we got some guys breaking in. Yeah, we're here to lay some cable. That's what we're doing, We're early. Hey, you want a vacation, right? So... And here's our teddy bear. Huh? The toys are coming alive. Whoa. I think that the idea is supposed to be this is the kids trying to communicate with Tetsuo. Yeah, and they're communicating to him in a really horrifying fashion, if that's the idea. Almost Lego block. What's with all the milk? I'm hoping that's milk. At least we got some clarification there. It's milk, huh? What? And they're freaked out by blood. So that's why they have to wash him in milk, huh? Oh no, it's blood. Called him a weirdo for bleeding. Oh, you're so weird. You have blood in you. I'm down to the bottom of my popcorn dish, which means I can finally eat Reese's Pieces. If I'm bleeding, I can keep them away. All right, so his last name's Shima, huh? And we're never going to run across any concern for parents. Maybe the concept is supposed to be that there's so many kids without parents. Like, these are kids. I couldn't say they were found among the wasteland. That explosion and all was 31 years ago, and they're not 30-year-old kids. Uh-oh. His powers just exploded these guys. I can't control my powers, and people are getting exploded. For this kid that we have interest in, we don't keep a very good eye on him, says the army. And Kaneda does have the personality of this movie. Like, at least he has something to say, right? Would it be worse if he was boring? I think we're going to see some drones here, which is something we have developed. It is so hard to tell which one's supposed to be the hot chick, isn't it? Oh, these are armed drones, though, huh? We don't quite have them armed at this size. They're quite substantially big and they fly higher than this if they're going to blast people. Actually, this one's got a guy riding it, doesn't it? So much sewage water. Hey, that's 2 fatalities for her. I think that can be attributed to her. She fired at him and he crashed. I lost my gun. Get used to people screaming Kaneda. I do think that this dub has a little less of that than the dub that came out in the day. Where I think much of the end of the movie was Tetsuo Kaneda, Tetsuo Kaneda. I think that has been changed. Slightly. We'll see when we get there. I think I recall that happening when I had last seen this. Well, he doesn't know how to fly the thing he's flying. What do you expect? I'm not really sure how its system of propulsion works. It's flying without any wings or propellers. Can we knock him out with gas? I mean, he's got to breathe, right? It's like he's keeping a field around him. Couldn't you have had someone, child psychologist, maybe talk some sense into him first before just kind of leaving him in this room so that he can be tormented by psychic kids and wake up with uncontrolled powers? You know, maybe try to explain the situation to him. Yeah, but what do I know? Turns out he was in the same building as these guys. Which I guess, the proximity of them being able to communicate with him in that way makes some sense, maybe, if we wanted to say there's a range to psychic power. See, even these kids are bullying Tetsuo. So what do you think's going to happen? You couldn't just be welcoming of him, accept him? You have to be like, oh, you're a cretin, weirdo. How could she possibly know the layout? There we go, because she's being mind controlled by the girl. I kind of give that as a better explanation than Kay just being like, I know where to go. Wait a minute, you're that kid. So he's had no training. These guys have been at this psychic thing for a while. But we're just going to have some kind of offhand dialogue. He's a level 7 already. He's a capsule, whatever. He could be level 9 power Akira. Now we want to try to talk him down. What spurred this on? Like surviving that crash from Takashi? I'm going to show you some bad things, kid. Ah, scream. Well, you guys couldn't have drawn some cleaner circles on that elevator? The baby room, huh? Well, the movie really hasn't devolved entirely to the point where I find it so underwhelming. That's really at the end. And we'll be getting there. What, my friend? Maybe I can calm down now. Oh, you had to call him stupid. You had to say you were rescuing him. Big mistake. I can do it by myself. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how they survive that. Big people like you shouldn't have the power. Only us little aged children. Akira gets cut off again. I can fly. Oh, okay. How can he have so much power? So you kind of have this unexplained power out of Tetsuo. We just happen to come across him and he's super powerful. But then the way the final fight breaks out, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It would appear as though he escaped, yes. The stadium for the Olympics. You were in my mind. How fast can his powers mature? It looks like they're pretty mature to me. How do we know when they reach that point? Weirdly enough, his powers can mature within a day. Uh-oh, they want to arrest Zangief. Now we have our political lecture. You army guys are puppets of corrupt politicians and capitalists. All right, Zangief is assuming total control over the city, at least. Maybe even the country. It's hard to tell. It appears as though he just had an impromptu coup. Don't torment the kid. I've got darkness around my eyes. That means cocaine addiction. It's the 80s. These two guys who no one knows the name of. Didn't give him the capsules, huh? I think it would have been more compelling if we actually stuck with the clown gang longer, and maybe they could have helped with the big conclusion. Like these two gangs had to join forces to help tackle the Tetsuo situation. I really want that bike, even though I can fly. I can't remember if we see any horrific stuff happen to those two, but I'm assuming they're done. Good thing they kept us in the same prison cell, even though you're a girl and I'm a dude. I have to explain everything to you. All right, so here's a theory on Akira. I'm trying to listen here. Oh, she's being puppeted here. Yeah. But the kids also don't seem to understand the Akira thing, so she didn't actually say anything particularly useful to Kaneda, huh? Is that your boyfriend, your dad? What is it? She turned up right on. So, what does that mean? Is she special in the way that she can communicate? Like the psychic girl can't directly talk to Kaneda, but she's capable of using K. It's not going to work out well for the guys in the tanks. Spoilers. Yeah, I think our biker gang guys had a bad time. Again, pulled out on in body bags. Oh wait, this one survived. Yep, there we go. He was bullied. Send Yamagata his wheels, huh? So because Yamagata got killed by Tetsuo, we have to destroy his bike? Is it our memorial service in Neo Tokyo? You won't be needing that bike anymore, huh? Oh, we got a little bit of reflections in the water there. All right, so how does that work? So everyone has the choice. Well, everyone has the power in them, and this guy's chosen to act out in vengeance here. And how did they get her? It's like it wasn't just in the mind. She's physically been transported. Well, look, if they have Akira's remains, underneath the city, frozen, all that, you would think that that could be kind of used to help combat Tetsuo. Like, hey, if we try to freeze him, that could be the weakness. That's how we get him. Except it's not. Corrupt politicians. And capitalists. Oh, he's running off all the money. Oh, Ryu's getting it. K is now on the market. For sure. Uh-oh. Tetsuo is on his way. And we kind of just repeated this footage, didn't we? Because we saw this already, him in the fire. We can't attack him, he's just a boy. Ah, I've got a cape now. Yeah, I'm super. So it says Samurai Spirit written on that tank. Oh! Stops the bullet. It's the shell. Hey, it's that guy that we've been chanting about. We've decided that's him. This makes sense to us. Everybody cheer. Just tank goes explodey. Gotta run away. Briefcase full of cash, yeah. How's this guy still chasing him? And what even happened to this guy? Is it a heart attack from all of his greed here? Looks like enough pills for a suicide. I don't know. Would there have felt like catharsis if we understood what this angle was about? I guess this guy has this dude Ryu trying to figure out what's going on with the government. He's working as he's one of the terrorists, right? So what's this guy with the money? Like, what's the correlation here? If you know, leave a comment below. I'm assuming you would have had to have looked stuff up online. I don't think it's contained in the movie. That's the issue. Looks like we may have to postpone the Olympics to 2021. The army has illegally ordered us to land. It looks like for your safety, bro. He's headed to the bridge. Everybody, let's go look. Huh? I know that guy. Yeah, I'm wearing rags. Okay. Don't you think that there's a possibility she could have talked some sense into him, but nothing comes of that, right? And look, Kaneda doesn't really have a plan, and it works. You're going up against all-powerful psychic kid, unhinged, capable of blowing up whatever he wants. And what are you going to do? I'm just going to go drive my bike over to him. You want to know where my bike was? It ultimately doesn't make a difference. Oh, it's our seer guy who wants to charge you for the pamphlets, right? 500 yen. Why are we shooting at these people? Oh, right, they're a bad aim. So this part of why this movie is so well liked, it's because of all these angsty dweeb weeaboos who want to be able to do this stuff. So it gives them that power fantasy, that wish fulfillment. But I want to be a dorky kid who is bullied and gets to scream and make things explode and lift up bridges. Yeah, this is the coolest. Go Akira. We're assuming the doctor is still alive. And I think this is where they get the idea to do the satellite strike. You can tell that's the toll booth from the cloud in the distance. I think we know that spinning diagram. What I'm not sure what you call. I think that might be a computer-based effect right there. It's not an animation. Well, I'm saying it's not a hand-drawn sort of thing. All right. Made it to the freezing level here. Let's see what all we got. Had to go down here earlier in the film to tease it. Let's see with the big reveal. What does Akira look like? Are we going to free it or what? They are kind of right. The power does control him eventually. Why use her to talk sense into him? He doesn't. You're that girl. What if they were able to use the girl he had feelings for? I swear he called her Gowdy in the version I'd seen before. But it looked like it said Kaori. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Kaori, maybe? Why can't she have a character arc, redemption, or anything? No, she just kind of wanders across him and gets crushed inside of him. Is that what happened in the manga? Or was there more to her characters? I'm just my complaints are based on as it's presented. You know what? I might be wrong, but I think Zangief actually survives this ordeal. All right, what happens if Akira isn't kept at the right temperature? What happens? Well, she just yeeted out of there. The Technodrome, guys. Yeah, maybe you don't want to stay on that bridge, guys. You know, it's crazy. In our version of 2019, everybody have their phones out recording this for TikTok. Yeah, she'll be okay. All right, let's see what's inside. Remember, but Akira is just preserved pieces. Organs in a jar. Cranial nerve. So we will use Sol, SOL. So we are shit out of luck. What are we saying here? Maybe the Sol is the satellite laser thing they try to implement here. Now, you know his motivation is to find this bike. So all we gotta do is deliver the bike to him, right? And he'll calm down. I think we're about to come to the part where he loses an arm. And it happens in such a silly way. All right. Where did Kaneda get this rifle? I don't recall him picking it up off somebody, but it's no different than the rifle that they were blasting at him on the bridge and he stopped, right? No different. It's not, but Kaneda, if you load it with this, we can defeat him. It's nothing like that. There's no setup to the payoff of this rifle being able to stop him. There's no justification for it. And that's one of the things that makes me so upset about this movie. We're blasting with all this stuff. We have better things than this rifle, but this rifle's what does it. Oh, he couldn't stop that blast entirely, right? Tetsuo Kaneda, Tetsuo. How is this even a match? Kaneda has no powers. He's not, manipulating him by showing him the bike. Oh, look, it's that bike you wanted. What? And then that can catch him off guard. Nothing. Doesn't have the element of surprise. None of that, right? Okay, still alive. I can use that against him. Man, the hairline on this guy too, man. Stephen A. Smith hairline on Tetsuo. Look, why does this make contact? You have a battery in your gun like this? And why is it dead? What's it good for 5 shots maybe? Yeah, I think this is our satellite, yeah. And we're not sure if we got him or not. Just go ahead and fire again. Pretty precise satellite laser, but questionable effectiveness, right? Dunlop tires on that? Oh, you weebs like this movie so much, but you won't name your kid Kaneda or Tetsuo, will you? Oh no, my arm! I mean, it would seem as though the laser would have got him completely. Maybe I can crush him with this rock. All right, now who protected them from the blast, right? Tetsuo's got other plans. Go to space to destroy the satellite. Oh, but that's Saul, right? Better call Saul. There is some reasoning behind this. You can see he has this red aura around him. It kind of gives you the perception that he doesn't need to breathe in space. Not going to complain too much about that. And you know, it does a lot of that space as a vacuum. Like, you don't hear the sound of what's happening up there. But there were other instances of chaotic shit happening in Neo Tokyo not making sound either in the film. Man, we should have had a Kaneda beer drinking game here, man. Anybody just yells Kaneda, take a shot. You'll be fine until you get to the third act. Oh, there goes your satellite, guys. Yeah, the Olympics still on. New assumed leader of the world. Country, city, whichever it is. Zangief, sir. Yeah, well, of course we have to have the doctor professor guy who is in awe of the power. That's his role. I wouldn't say that this is relying on too many tropes so much as they're not quite tropes at the time of this, but they get to be, right? And they feel like tropes still, even though they predate it, because they were so empty, right? This guy, oh man, it's off the chart. That's all he does, right? Yeah, we get it. You look like Albert Einstein, so you must be scientist man. I'm not sure what you're supposed to get out of this power meter, but it's making crazy patterns, so it must be pretty high. Could we get a graduated scale 1 to 10? No. You're over here admiring him. I'm angry. Hey man, it's electric bikes, man. We're off the gas, man. Green energy all the way, man. Hilarious, my buddy's bike is on fire. My only surviving friend. Yeah, so she's just gonna go it alone and go talk to Tetsuo. Yeah, how come she couldn't have been with the group? With somebody like, hey, I want to talk to Kaori, or oh, hey, I want Kaneda's bike. No, like what satiates him? What's the motivations here? No, just off on her own. Just I'll go see him. This doesn't really calm him down or nothing. I don't understand why this is happening. Just the. I guess this is the power controlling him, right? Because he didn't get the proper guidance. It's in no time. Gets out of hand. Oh, well, you're supposed to make a drug metaphor, Vaughn. We gotta get him those capsules. Not good enough, Zangief. I just give me the drugs and I don't go to your school. There we go. Does she look like she has medicine on her? The power. All right, maybe I was wrong about Zangief surviving. Oh, well, yeah, there he goes. Okay. So we just recharged this rifle of some kind. I'm going to call that a rifle. What makes it special? It never stated. We get to do a sequence on my scooter. But, you wanted the scooter, right? But now that's kind of been forgotten. The kid's got to protect the bike, right? Now for the real Olympic Games. If you thought roids were an issue, wait till you see psychics. Heads up, Tetsuo. Why give him a warning that you're about to blast him? Hope the optic nerve heard you. So is this supposed to illustrate the dangers of getting people off meds? Corey. I swear it was Gowdy in the version I first saw. Corey? Cowrie? Yeah, nothing good happens to her. There is more to this dub than the old dub because it explains more. Oh no, Cowrie's gonna die. I killed her. I mean, there's still a lot of this Tetsuo Kaneda, but I feel like it relied on that more. Excuse me, in the previous dub. A little less explanation. Explosion of body parts. And kind of just gets to slip out. That's interesting. I've got this pistol that'll stop him. Come on, kids. I mean, what if the key to all of this would have been just breaking the Akira capsules? Like, why couldn't we have tried that? Maybe that'll stop them in some way. Just try stuff, right? Now, hey, it's our old friend, but he doesn't have any clothes. Oh no, but that's impossible. I hate it when people talk like that. But you can't because Akira's. But then, I don't. But that's. I hate that. Finish your senses. They teleported Zangief away as though he's a good guy. She said, "Get in the tunnel, buddy." What is the explanation behind this? I don't understand. He wants to rescue his friend or not? Because he came here to shoot him. So what exactly are we doing? Well, a lot of innocent people are getting killed from this. Oh, he's going in to rescue Kaneda. You certain? The three of us go inside. We can save Kaneda, who didn't run away when warned to run away. We need to rescue him. Yeah. I guess the other ones, they must have teleported. No, she never came by, but yeah. They're going to go inside and do something to rescue Kaneda. That's about sacrifice themselves. Wasn't a whole lot of concern to rescue Corey. Happy memories of friendship. It's not me sniffing back, holding back tears from crying. I've got a cold or something. Been going at it for a week. We have to show the childhood of this kid with the male pattern baldness at an early age, a giant forehead. What led to him being bullied? Oh, was he a kid and happened to cross Akira? Like what's happening here? I don't know. These are the little kids made old. This is their backstory. Yeah, you can manipulate the TV, all right. Take Tetsuo with him. It's way too big. It's what? What? But someday we ought to be able to. What about Kay? See, you have all the questions Kaneda has. No real answers. So is Kay like the next link here? Because you guys were able to talk through her, but she didn't seem to otherwise have power? I had to fight these kids to get your toy back for you. Kaneda, right? Yeah. Hmm. All right, so the three aged children psychics have evidently done something to rescue Kaneda, but they're going to sacrifice themselves in the process. We get to watch the stadium get destroyed and nearby buildings. This guy is obsessed with his power ranking system. The birth of the universe. Give me a break. Just hyping up the action that's happening here, making it sound so important, right? All right, good. No more scientist man. I think this is mostly the old Tokyo we're seeing him get wrecked here, parts of it. Oh, good. Sun's coming out. Which reminds me, I need to get to mowing the lawn. All right, the dust is settled. That Kaneda, can you hear me? That counts as a shot, guys. Sorry. Man, Kei has the masculine jawline of that android, like, granddaughter of Data in the Picard series, doesn't she? I mean, that girl has a jaw. Alright, so, everything has been distilled down to a tiny sphere that's in his hand that he's crushed or holding onto. Bike has seen better days. Everybody's gone. Okay, we can get back to trying to fix my bike and looking cool. I'm not sure if he's dead, but they're gone, and for now, sequel bait ending possibility coming back. Nope, we never really catch up on this. Oh, but it's a huge hit, classic, cult classic, whatever. But you'd think we'd have like a series of films. You know, Netflix looking for an IP they can get their hands on. Give you the Akira series on Netflix. Why isn't that happening? Alright, something's already begun. Though we're saying began at the end of our movie. It's not the most pretentious thing. That would probably be, one of the Evangelion films. More pretentious. I am Tetsuo. Who are you? What's the significance of what we're looking at? So he's not... Is this just supposed to tell us, hey, he's not dead, but he's gone off to another existence? Whatever. There's your film, Akira. You guys, if you listen this far, you probably like it more than I do. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Till next time, adios.